Now, for some reason, I've been seeing a lot of these type of comments on Instagram when it does come to certain posts. We've seen that, Steph Curry has been absolutely insane since last 20 games or so, practically since James Wiseman got injured conveniently. We've seen that LaMelo Ball has had an absolutely outstanding rookie year and has really paved the way and shown some of these haters that you can't really judge a player before they make the league. But again, this has actually had some repercussions on a couple of other players. One of those players being James Wiseman. The typical comment that I have been seeing quite a bit recently is people saying that James Wiseman is a bust already and that the Golden State Warriors are so much better without him on the court. And I'm going to say this right now. Yes, it is true that the Golden State Warriors are probably better when James Wiseman doesn't play, but that doesn't mean he's a bust. He has literally played like half a season of basketball. He came to the NBA straight from high school. Like, he played 3 college games and didn't play the rest of the season. He practically went from high school as an 18-year-old to, the NBA as a 20-year-old. And people are calling him a bust, and he's only played a handful of games. A player I actually like to compare James Wiseman to right now, it's actually Darius Garland. Not because of their, position, their height, or anything like that, but actually because both were called a bust in their first season, when both of these players practically jumped from high school to the NBA straight away. When Darius Garland was having his ups and downs, I saw there was a massive conversation going around. People saying that Darius Garland was a bust, that, again, Kobe White was way better than Darius Garland. As someone who watched Kobe White and Darius Garland, frequently watched both of them play, I can say that yes, Kobe White might have been a little bit better than Garland at the time, but you could tell by how they played that Garland had so much more potential as a player. But yeah, if you were to type that on, a post, you would get a lot of hate because you would look biased if you're a Cavs fan, or you'd be biased if you're a Darius Garland fan. But now we've seen that Darius Garland has kind of come out this season and has absolutely balled out. I mean, right now at the time making this video, he's averaging about 18 points per game, 2.4 rebounds, 6.2 assists on 40% from 3. That's about a 6-point difference from his last season, about 2 to 3 assists difference from the previous season as well, and about, again, he goes from 35 to 40% from 3 all in one season. While we look at Kobe White, he hasn't really improved at all, and he's kind of been moved to the bench. So that's a comparison that I like to compare to. I think James Wiseman is the type of player that will have a much better second season. I think this season was kind of his welcome to the NBA moment. I think that, again, getting James Wiseman just to play some games this year. He played 39 games, started 27 of them, played about 21 minutes per game, 11.5 points, 5.8 rebounds. I think that getting him that experience will help out a lot, because now next season, he knows how the NBA is. He can do a Darius Garland. He can work, he can work very, very hard in the off season and get so much better and prove everyone wrong right now that is calling him a bust. And to answer kind of the question that a lot of people have been asking, is James Wiseman a bust? No, he's literally played less than half a season. If we look at the normal season, which is 82 games, and we cut that in half, which is 41 games, he's only played 39 games this season. He's literally played less than half of a normal regular season. People who are calling him a bust just don't understand that it takes time for some players. Look, I don't think James Wiseman's going to have necessarily as big of an upgrade as what Darius Garland did, just based on the fact that I think, Garland was more ready. I think Wiseman obviously played a lot less than what Garland did in Garland's first season. But I could see Wiseman jumping up to about 14 points per game and maybe 8 rebounds next season, and maybe average 30 minutes per game and get that defense up and efficiency up. I could definitely see James Wiseman, potentially do that. Of course, if he doesn't, there could be, a reason for some people to potentially be concerned. But again, I think that right now, he's played less than half a season. Chill out. Give him an opportunity to improve. He will over this offseason. I guarantee he will improve. If you're a Golden State fan, there isn't exactly too much to worry about. But of course, the other question that I kind of want to answer of, should the Golden State Warriors have picked LaMelo Ball instead of James Wiseman, I think I might do a more in-depth on this in a different video. So definitely stay tuned for that potentially if I do decide to make it. But at the time I'm making this video right now, I think that yes, the Golden State Warriors should have possibly picked LaMelo Ball. I said this a lot before the draft started. I said taking James Wiseman would be a mistake. Not because I don't think James Wiseman will be an absolute beast in the NBA. It's mainly because I think that the Golden State Warriors are a very, very big system-based team. And I think that they were going to try and, re-bring that system back. They lost Sean Livingston, who was like a 6'7" point guard. And I thought that, bringing in a guy like LaMelo Ball, who was a 6'8", 6'9" point guard or whatever, who plays decent defense, can be a nice scorer, be a really nice playmaker, just like Sean Livingston was. I thought that would kind of be a cool move for them, to potentially do. But again, for some reason they decided to take James Wiseman. I don't really know why. They could have just gone out and signed a small ball center in free agency. That's another reason I feel like James Wiseman is also not having maybe as good of a season, is he doesn't really fit with this Golden State team. Again, as I said, I think he will improve a lot next season. But I just felt like James Wiseman would have been much suited for a team, that was needing a center, to kind of come in and be, that young pace to kind of build around. One team that I like to look at, right now as, a team that might need a young center to kind of potentially build around was, of course, maybe like a team like the Detroit Pistons or the Chicago Bulls, where I didn't really feel like Wendell Carter was kind of that guy. But again, there is a lot to kind of work with right here. I think James Wiseman is going to have a very good season next year. I think he will improve to maybe 13 to 14 points per game. Could even go more, like we saw Garland make a huge jump. And then I think he'll go from maybe like, he's 5 to 6 rebounds to maybe 8 per game and get that efficiency and defense up, which I think is all really Golden State fans can kind of ask for, at this point of time. But again, I think he will deliver. Of course, if you guys would like to see me make a more in-depth video on why I think LaMelo Ball was the better decision for the Golden State Warriors to potentially make, I highly recommend you guys comment, subscribe if you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like, and tell me if you guys think James Wiseman is a bust, because honestly, the people that are saying he is kind of a little bit immature in my opinion, just based on the fact that he really hasn't played that much basketball. He's played less than half a season and people are already calling him a bust. Like, it's absolutely crazy in my opinion. But of course, I'd really like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for related NBA content. Don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlog channels. And don't forget to check out my podcast as well if you haven't already. Links for them will all be in the description down below. But as I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and comment in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.